Shalom everyone and Shavua Tov. We on Parashat VaYeshev. We can find it in chapter 37 verse 1 in the book of Genesis, and it's still we're in the midst of this interesting story. VaYeshev Yaakov, VaYeshev means and he settled. Jacob settled. Okay? In simple Hebrew he set, but it's like settled. VaYeshev Yaakov be'eretz megurei aviv, and Jacob settled in the land of the dwellings of his father, in the land of Canaan. And then it goes, verse 2 in chapter 37, Ele toldot Yaakov Yosef. These, again, we have Ele toldot. These are the outcomes, generations of Yaakov, Yosef ben 17 shana, which is written like very weird. Remember, like we said, Ele toldot Noach, Noach is Tzaddik. These are the generations of Noach. Noach was a righteous man. Okay? Here, Ele toldot Yaakov, Yosef ben Yosef. Which means Yosef is the main thing of the outcome of Yaakov. What does it mean? He had 12 sons. But we know that Yaakov had a special liking to Yosef. And we know that if you look at the main job of the patriarchs, you have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right, left, and center. Right? Right, left, and center. That's in the upper triangle. But when you draw the whole star, right, of the 6 points, or the 6 edges, as it says in the Zohar, you have one triangle. It's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the lower triangle, who is under Jacob? Joseph. Which means Jacob, all his life, tells us the Zohar, he was concentrated that his mission in the world is to bring Joseph as the same as Jacob. He's the central column of the upper triangle. Which means, as we said last week, Abraham is a symbol of chesed, loving kindness. Without loving kindness, you have no life. You can't have life. You can't have relationship. You can't have nothing. No community, no family. You can't just take. You're not here just to take. So you have to start with the right foot. What I mean to start with the right foot? You always start with giving, with sharing. Okay? But you need also to learn how to walk with the left foot. Okay? That's Isaac. The problem is, if you walk, in like we said, like drunk people, when they walk with the right foot, they swing all the way to the right. And then with the left, they swing all the way to the left. And they go in zigzag. That's how you know they're drunk. But when you have a central column, which is Jacob, you know how the art of juggling. And life is juggling. As a wife, as a husband, as a child, as a business person, as anything. It's always juggling between what do you feel like doing and what's the right thing to do. What about me? What about giving and sharing, caring for others? If you don't know how to juggle, you just swing right and left, and finally you get exhausted and you drop there. Correct? Now, so Jacob was completing the upper triangle, which is you have to know how to mean well. You have to know how to balance your thoughts and your intentions. However, you have to know also how to manifest your actions. That's the lower triangle. The manifestation for that was Joseph, who's a symbol for many, many millennia. He's the symbol of success. Because success is not just the meaning. What you mean is your ability to manifest it and to make it seen as success, as bounty, as bliss, as whatever you do, things come out right. That's Joseph. So Jacob, he knew that he has to bring Joseph. There's a lot of it in the Zohar about it. So that's why it says, Ele toldot Yaakov Yosef. These are the outcomes or the generations of Yaakov, Yosef. We're talking about chariots and these forces. Joseph is the main one of the central column. Okay? Now, we start our stories in this parasha, Joseph is 17 years old. And he was with his brothers like with the sheep, like his father did. And then the story goes on. It says again, verse 3, and Israel ahav et Yosef mikol banav. The Jacob, or Israel in this case, he loves Joseph more than all his sons. You're up for trouble, right? Mm-hmm. And he made for him the special Technicolor dream coat, right? And Joseph has those dreams, amazing dreams. He knows he's going to be big. He has dreams about being a king and everybody bowing down to him, especially his brothers. Okay? All of the symbols, and not just he had the dreams, he was also a kind of a snob. Being raised as his father's, like... on
a pedestal.
On a pedestal. Okay? You know how it is. So the dreams and his behavior, and he was very close to his father. His father was teaching him a lot. We hear it a lot. But it looks like didn't make him really a better person. Why? Because the more the years were passing by, the more he grew up. The picture is now he's 17. His brothers hate him so much. They think he's another Esav. You know, their father had a brother, Esav, and he was just trouble. And they thought, here we got one also. Esav, as we said last week, he could choose to be a balanced person. He chose not to. Here's another one. Our father brought him to the world, but it looks from his behavior, he chose wrong. He's choosing wrong, gradually. So, the story continues. Verse 12, chapter 37. And the brothers, they were living in Hebron, right, area? And the brothers are going with the sheep all the way to Shechem. Okay, that's like 2 days walk, 3 days walk to the north. Okay, in the mountain ridge. And ויאמר ישראל אל יוסף, הלא אחיך רואים בשכם לך שלחך אליהם ויאמר לא הנני. Go, but they are there with the sheep, away from home, and who's home with dad? With good food, and all the niceties of being home? Joseph. And Yaakov is saying to Joseph, go to your brothers, I want you to go over there to find out what's going on. It doesn't go well. So, and then come back and tell me how it's going. And he sends him to Hebron, from Hebron to Shechem. And then it says in verse 15, וימצאו איש, והנה טועה בשדה. And a man finds him, and Rashi says, this was Angel Gabriel. He finds Joseph, and he's טועה בשדה. Translation. In Hebrew, טועה means lost his way. טועה means making a big mistake. Okay? It's a game of words. And some commentators are saying he was טועה. He was making a big mistake. He thought he's going to meet his brothers and they're going to be very happy to see him. Big mistake. They were not very happy to see him. And the man is asking, what are you looking? And he says, Et achai anochi mevakesh, I'm looking for my brothers. Hagidani nali efo em roim, tell me where they are. Where are they? And the man says, they went to Emek Dotan, to the valley of Dotan, north of Shechem. Vayuru oto merchok, verse 18, and they saw him from afar coming. And as he's approaching them, they already planned to kill him. And what do they say? Here's the guy with the dreams coming over here. Let's kill him, throw him to one of the pits. And we'll tell Dad that a beast ate him. And we'll see what goes on with his dreams. Now, that was some of the brothers. Reuven hears that and he says, no, don't kill him. Let's put him into this pit. and we will think about it. Because he meant, it says, to bring him back to his father, because Reuben was the firstborn and he had the responsibility. It's like, I'm the responsible guy over here. So not all the brothers were in the same idea. So as he approached, they took away his special colored coat. They threw him into the pit, and it says, and the pit is empty, no water. The Midrash is saying, if it's empty, you don't have to say no water. Oh, no water, but it's having scorpions and snakes. And they said to eat bread. And they raise their eyes and they see Ishmaelites coming from the Gilad, carrying spices to Egypt. Yehuda, also one of the brothers, he was also realized that it's not good to kill. So he says, you know what, to save them, to save Joseph from the brothers who wanted to kill him, that the most of them were, it was Shimon and Levi, why should we kill our brother? Okay, let's sell him as a slave and see what's happening. He's a brother, he's a flesh, so why selling him? But he thought it's better to sell him than to let those guys kill him. So they sold him, and they took him to Egypt. They bring his coat stained with blood to the father, who has a nervous breakdown, and he can't recuperate from that for many, many years. He's mourning for many years, and the story goes now to, like a very good movie, to Joseph. Joseph should be like now, headline, Egypt. Joseph is, but before there's a break, chapter 38. Like in a good, like soap opera. Mm-hmm. We go now, suspense. What happened to Joseph? Oh, now there's a story about Yehuda. Yehuda is getting married to a lady. She's the daughter of Shua, and she has 3 sons. And then the story goes on how the first one is getting married to a lady named Tamar, and he dies, and then his brother is marrying her, and he dies, and Yehuda says after these 2 sons died, he had 1 left. By the way, Yehuda is the one who gave the advice to sell, to sell Joseph. He didn't save him, he sold him as a slave. Meanwhile, he's losing 2 sons. The story gets really complicated because Yehuda is afraid. He says to Tamar, the 3rd one is too young. Go home to your father, I'll call you. He doesn't call her. There's a whole weird story about she disguises as a harlot, and he comes, she knows he's in the neighborhood, he comes, he's like, he doesn't know it's his daughter-in-law, and he sleeps with her, and she gets pregnant. When he hears Yehuda that Tamar got pregnant, let's kill her. She comes to him. When he got her pregnant, he didn't have to pay. What to pay? He says, I'm going to send you something. So she said, I need some, some guarantee. So he gives her his seal and his staff, and she disappears. Now he wants to kill her. She comes with the staff and the seal. He said, you're the father. 2 boys are coming out. Which are the 2 boys? The souls of the 2 husbands. Oh, wow. Okay? And they come out, and he doesn't touch her anymore, but from them come the 2 big families of the tribe of Judah. When these 2 families unite with the story of Ruth and Boaz, the book of Ruth, who comes out of it? King David. Okay? So we have over here about the story of the beginning, the seeds of the house of David, which is so weird. And it's a whole topic by itself, but sometimes, we learn that in order to bring to the world something that is good, you need to go through weird roads. Okay? Now, are you in suspense what happens to Joseph, right? Okay, so the next chapter, 39. VaYosef u'ad Mitzrayim. Oh, we come back to Joseph. Joseph in Egypt. And Potiphar, one of the ministers of Pharaoh, buys him in the market. Okay? From the Ishmaelites. And Joseph is there, very successful in the house of his new owner. And then there's a very, very important verse over here. Chapter 39, verse 3. Vayar Adonav ki Hashem ito. And his master sees that God is with him. V'chol asher hu oseh, Hashem matzliach beyado. And everything he's doing, God makes it successful in his hands. Who saw that? Potiphar. His owner, his master. Vayimtza Yosef chen menav, so Yosef finds grace in his eyes. He serves him, so Potiphar puts Joseph responsible for all his household, and then all what he has, he gives him in his hands. We understand that Potiphar is one of the strongest people in Egypt, right? He's a minister of Pharaoh. He's one of the strongest people. He owns probably houses, lands. Okay, so and Joseph right now is in control. וימאז הפקיד אותו בביתו ועל כל אשר יש לו, ויברך השם את בית המצרי בגלל יוסף. Now, God is blessing the house of the Egyptians thanks to Joseph. But not like Lavan. Remember the same story was with his father. As Jacob comes to Lavan and he works for Lavan, he's blessed. Finally, he has sons, he has this, he has that, he gets very rich. He cannot acknowledge that his nephew brings him all of that. He's envious in him. Here, that's an Egyptian. It's not family even. It's like from another planet, another continent. Okay? But he knows that Joseph makes him rich. ויעזוב את כל אשר לו ביד יוסף, so he leaves everything he has in the hands of Joseph. לא ידע איתו מאומה. He said, like, I don't want to know. Don't ask me. Whatever you ask me, I lose money. Whatever you do without asking me, you make me rich. Don't ask me anymore. I trust you, you do everything. And this story ends, verse 6 in chapter 39, ויהי יוסף יפה תואר ויפה מראה. And Joseph is very, very beautiful. Not handsome. Okay. He looks really great. Now, the legend says that Joseph was one of the most beautiful men that ever walked on earth. 7 of them, he was one of them. Okay? Now, think about it. He's representing Potiphar in all his business deals. He's not walking to the business meetings with rags. He's dressed up nicely, right? Because he's representing his master. Okay? So what does it mean? Joseph starts to feel comfortable. When do you look in the mirror to see if you're beautiful? When you're comfortable. Yeah. When you're running for your life, you don't have time to look at the mirror, right? You're just making sure you have your legs, your hands, and that everything is there, and you're still in one piece. He has leisure time. And immediately after that, so after that, he was so beautiful, the wife of his master, she puts her eyes on. Here we have this like beautiful man walking over here, and the Midrashim are saying that she was also pretty beautiful. She was one of the most beautiful ladies that ever walked on earth. Okay? She wants him. By the way, guys, this is Egypt. Egypt some 4,000 years ago. These guys, they didn't have rules like we have, although we're losing them. Okay? She wants him, and he's avoiding her. And one day came, she was planning it, nobody was home, and she catches him, takes him to her bedroom, and he runs away without his clothes. She's really hurt. She screams, she blames him, and she tells everybody that he tried to rape her. He's being sent to jail. What can he do? He's a slave. She's one of the most powerful, the wife of one of the powerful men in Egypt. Does he have a fair court case? No. He's thrown into jail. Okay. So, the story goes on that Joseph in jail, what does it say? It's chapter 40, verse 41. VaYeshev et Yosef, vayet elav chesed, and God was with Joseph in jail. If God is with him, what is he doing in jail? We'll come to it. Vayet elav chesed, vayiten chino ben Esav bet hasohar. So the minister of jail sees that Joseph is such a talented guy, he lets him run the jail. Okay? So, first he was the king of Potiphar's business, now he's the king of jail. And again, the same story, אין שר בית הסוהר רואה כל מאומה בידו כאשר אדוני איתו ואשר הוא עושה אדוני מצליח. And the minister of jail doesn't want to know anything. He says, Joseph, whatever you decide, I trust you. Why? When you ask me and I tell you what to do, it never comes out right as it is when you do it on your own. So I know, he says, that God makes it work for you. It's not that you're successful. You're miraculously, illogically successful. This is Joseph. But what's in it for Joseph? He's in jail, not just a slave. He is a Hebrew slave in an Egyptian jail. It's like, can't be worse than that. But he's still the king of the jail. Okay, I'm sorry, that was chapter 39, verse 21. Now, chapter 40, verse 1. Vayachad vayimel, and after that, the wine steward and the baker of Pharaoh were very important people, because the wine steward is the only person in the world that Pharaoh will drink wine from his hands. So his mouth is closest to Pharaoh's ear than anyone else. We're talking about it's called wine steward, today it's called lobbyist, right? If somebody wants something to happen, he goes to this guy, bribes him, gives him, let's make a deal. You tell Pharaoh about me and my business, Pharaoh will say, okay, you get half and half, right? This kind. It's still today in politics. This guy hanging out in a Congress, in the Senate, in order to get all kinds of things done. At that time, they called it the wine steward. Oh. The other one was a baker. The only person that Pharaoh will eat his baking, he's also very close to Pharaoh. Okay, one of the ways to get rid of kings in ancient time was to poison them. Okay? And then both of them got Pharaoh angry one day, and he threw them into jail. Who do they meet? Who is the person they meet in jail? Who is in charge of them? Joseph. He is the master of jail. He has those VIPs coming. And one day, they both had a very powerful dream. Each one his own dream. But the same night. They get up in the morning, and it says, verse 6, ויבוא אליהם יוסף בבוקר, Joseph comes in the morning to serve them, וירא אותם והנם זופים. He said them, and both are angry. וישאל את צריסי פרעה אשר איתו משמר בית אדוניו לאמור, מדוע פניכם רעים היום? He was not just serving them food, he was also giving them emotional support. That service, he was the concierge. Okay? And they tell him, we had a dream, and we don't understand that dream, but we know it's important. So he says, God has the solution, tell me. And they tell him, here we have, 4 dreams we have already in this story. It's not over with dreams yet. Are you getting dreams lately? Okay. Okay, so Joseph gives them the interpretation. For the wine steward, he says, in 3 days, Pharaoh is going to get you out of jail and get you back on your post. For the baker, I'm sorry to tell you, in 3 days, Pharaoh is going to hang you, and it's over. And the way Joseph said, that's the way it was. And the story ends that Joseph says to the wine steward, when you get out of here, and you're close to Pharaoh again, you know, I'm here, I'm stolen, I'm here not because I did anything wrong, get me out of here. And the last verse is, and the wine steward did not remember Joseph, and he forgot him. Okay. What's in it for us, except from that was a big, beautiful musical that came out from this story, right? So, let's just try to understand, and of course we need the Zohar for that. And the Zohar starts, if you listen to the previous parashot, Toldot, VaYishlach, Toldot, I'm sorry, it was Toldot, Vayetze, and VaYishlach, the same theme. You know, some of the parashot, they go, usually 1 month, you have the same theme coming again. What is the theme? As we learned, in the first parashot, we were learning how to build up inside ourselves the right column, Chesed, as we said, Abraham. And then Gvura, to learn about taking and also about how to overcome our urges and control our desires and make them work for us. And then Jacob, which is the central column, we spoke about it already. But then in Parashat Toldot, 4 weeks ago, we had another issue coming. And the issue was the birth of Esau and Jacob. And here we have another aspect that's coming in. It's not just that we have just to balance between the giving, the receiving, and put them together. We have another issue which is called the evil inclination. And as Rabbi Ashlag was teaching us, this is the desire to receive for the sake alone. There's nothing wrong about wanting. Not just that there's nothing wrong about wanting. We were created for the purpose of wanting because the Creator created us so He can share with us. Can you share with someone who doesn't want anything? Who doesn't need anything? Can you share, let's say you have an amazing experience you want to share with a friend. You found this amazing restaurant in the most amazing garden. And they have an amazing orchestra. And they serve an amazing, beautiful food and also very tasty, and everything is amazing theme. And you bring your friend, your beloved friend, to eat. You invite him for that restaurant, but the guy just, he's getting a terrible, terrible cold, so he has no sense of taste. He's like so sick he can't see anything, okay? And he's also so sick he can't hear anything. Now, can you know, how does that feel to bring to such a restaurant somebody who cannot taste, cannot hear, and cannot see? It's like, you can share with him. The Creator created us with eyes and ears and nose and taste and stuff, all of that, so we can enjoy what He wants to give us. However, He created us also the ticket, how to pay for it. Because in the beginning we got everything for free. The problem is we couldn't stand it. We wanted to pay for it. We wanted to earn it. So this world has been created, the big, big arena, the playground that is called planet Earth. And here we can earn it. We can get it by right and not by mercy. Okay? And what is it? The Zohar says, VaYeshev Yaakov be'eretz megurei aviv, which starts from the beginning. Rabbi Chia patach v'amar, Rabot ra'ot tzadik. There's a verse of Psalms 34 that says that a righteous man has many troubles. Okay, that's how it looks like from when you read it. Why would righteous people have troubles? You would think that bad people should have troubles and righteous people should have only a nice life. But there's also, you know, the same thing about why do good people have bad things happening? Right? Okay. So the Zohar continues. כמה מקטרגים יש לו לאדם מיום שנתן לו הקדוש ברוך הוא נשמה בעולם הזה. כיוון שיצא האדם לאוויר העולם, מיד נזדמן יצר הרע. The moment, it's the same story, the beginning of the previous parasha, the moment you are born, at the opening, the evil inclination is waiting for you. God, why do you have to make it so hard? Hi guys, you wanted to pay? Okay, here's your ticket. Having an evil inclination which comes with the body, without the body you have no evil inclination. The souls don't have an evil inclination. To have an evil inclination you need a body. That's why Rabbi Zechariah Darizal is saying, Ein tikun ela beguf. You cannot correct yourself unless you are in a body. So we come into the body. In a body we see, but we are mostly blind. We see what we don't need to see. But the real stuff we don't see. Right? How many times did you hear, how could I be so blind? I know this person for years. How could I be so blind? Right? I chose that person, to do this for me. How could I be? It was written on the wall. It was written on his forehead. How could I be so blind? Because we don't see. We don't see. We see partially. We make censorship about what we see. Okay? What about hearing? Same story. What about thinking? Same story. As long as we have a body, we have an evil inclination, and the evil inclinations kind of like muffles all the data coming in, messes it up, and you have like a whole belief system that has nothing to do with reality. Okay? And that's how people make mistakes, loads of them. Okay? For thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Where all the mistakes are coming from? Most of it are from the evil inclination. Okay? Now, how do you know it's an evil inclination? Says the Zohar, come and see. בהמות מיום שנולדו, כולם שומרות את עצמם בורחות מאש ומכל מקומות רעים. Animals, when they have little ones, those little ones, they know to run away from fire, from danger. You can't find them running around in the pasture or in the fields or in the forest, getting themselves into trouble and eating poison. Human babies, they're so creative in creating troubles. You have to watch them 24/7 because they run into danger. Like if you heard about Murphy's laws, human young ones, they're so good at it. If there is an option for trouble, they probably find that option. They're so creative with it. If there are 4 levels of how terrible it could be, they will probably choose the 4th worst all of them. Okay? And do you think when they grow up, they stop looking for trouble? Oh no. It goes on for all of our lives. So you know that we are not like others. We're not like beasts and animals. Some animals are really, really bad when they live with us. Right? Dogs, cats, all kinds of tamed animals. Right. But where they're on their own, they don't mess up. They won't survive. They know what's right and what's wrong. You never see in nature an overweight deer, right? Or wolves, or any kind of, or even dogs, wild dogs, you never see. You see them in people's houses. Oh, they have all the maladies of human beings, psychologically, mentally, physically, everything. Okay, so, because that's an evil inclination. And therefore it says, there's a verse that says, this is from King Solomon, that says, Tov yeled misken v'chacham. It's better a poor, wise child than an old, foolish king. The old, foolish king is the evil inclination. Why old? Because he's born first. The child, the wise child, is a good inclination. We get it only on bar and bat mitzvah. So He comes, he's wise. He knows how to find the right, but he's young. He's like a child. When he comes, who is the ruler? Who is the king? The evil inclination. For the young one to come in, that's hard work. Okay? Not every person is successful in overthrowing the old king and putting the new king, on the throne, right? The good inclination. Okay? And he doesn't know how to be. So now, how is that connected to that? And the answer is like this. If you ask yourself, why is it that people, good people, have so many troubles? Look about Abraham. When he becomes Abraham, was it easy? He said, oh God, I know God, I love God. And from that moment on, everything was so nice for him. Right? Wrong. First of all, he's losing all his status that he accumulated all his life in Ur Kasdim in today's Iraq. He's being thrown out of his home, birthplace. You know, in the age that most people already settled down and enjoying their retirement, he has to start wandering. He's wandering all the way to Turkey of today, and then realize it's the wrong place, and he goes down south to the land of Canaan. Okay? Till he becomes that Abram that we know, that's not easy. He goes through one calamity after another, one problem after another, one challenge after another. Becoming Abraham the patriarch is not coming easy. Why? As we said, you want to become great. Greatness is something that comes with blood, sweat, and tears. If you want to get it for free you get troubles and fleas. That comes for free. Okay? Now, Isaac. We don't hear about too many troubles Isaac goes through. It's not easy for him too. However, he doesn't go through so many calamities like Abraham. He doesn't have to wander too much. He doesn't leave the land of the promised land ever in his life. However, he went through one big one. When is the story of the binding of Isaac? And we learn, the Zohar says, if you want to say that it was the test, the big test of Abraham, the Zohar says the test was much bigger for Isaac. Abraham heard the word of God. Go and sacrifice your son. Isaac heard nothing. Just trusted his father. And the Zohar says if Isaac walked away, he would be exempt because nobody told him. Abraham would be exempt. What could he do? He's 137. Isaac is 37. He says, Dad, I have no idea what you're doing, but I'm going home. Now let Abraham chase after him. He's 137. So Abraham is exempt because what could he do? The boy didn't want to cooperate. Isaac was willing to give up his life, trusting his father. That was a big one. That in one blow, he overcame his evil inclination by submitting himself totally to his father. And that's why, if you remember, we said, it never says Isaac, Isaac, because the physical Yetzirah, down-to-earth Isaac was gone at that moment. And that's why the sages are saying, Yesh hakoneh olamo b'sha'ah achat. A person can acquire his world. Which world? The world to come, in 1 minute. Most people do it by installments. One test after another, one experiment after another, one experience after another. That's, for Isaac he did a big one. Jacob, was it easy for him? That he has to go around his brother and his father, between his father and his mother, and then going to his uncle and all of this stuff. And now, what's the story? Why is that being mentioned over here? Because the name of the parasha is VaYeshev. And the Midrash is saying, VaYeshev Yaakov be'eretz megurei aviv. And Jacob settled. And the Midrash is saying he wanted to settle down. He said, okay, we went through all of that. My brother almost killed me. Then his grandson almost killed me. Then later on, my uncle almost kills me. And then my brother almost kills me again. And then his daughter, that's last week's story, right? Dinah is being kidnapped and raped. And then his beloved wife, Rachel, is dead. And Jacob says, maybe it's time to rest and to settle down. And what is the answer?
No.
No. So the sages are saying, look, we are in this world for one purpose and one purpose alone. And this purpose is to acquire the world to come. How do you acquire the world to come? By turning the evil inclination on your side. How would that happen? It will never happen sitting on a porch, on the beach, with a pina colada. No one ever comes to greatness sitting comfortably. If you're not willing to die for it, you don't deserve to have it. Well, I'm talking about greatness. Jacob has to go through those stages. Yes, he's righteous. Says the Zohar, when it says, Rabot o Tzaddik, righteous people have many, many troubles. He says, no, you should read it, not righteous people have many troubles. Many troubles, that means as a righteous person. Why? It's not, the righteous person does not see it as troubles, he sees it as challenges. So, we are not here to rest. We're not here to settle. We're not here to just chill. And you know, in our culture of today, people are trying to do as little as possible and enjoy the most as possible. Like, let's have joy and fun and so on, and work a little bit. What kind of a job you're looking for? You know, the dream job is like 2 hours a day, you're sitting next to the computer, you play with the stock market and stuff like this, and then you make money, and you can spend the rest of the day, you know, in restaurants, going to the gym, getting a massage, all kinds of stuff like this, having like sailing and traveling around the world. And then you wonder, how come you're so depressed? And the answer is very simple. If you're not going through those moments of hardship, if you're not really fighting what? Fighting the doubt, fighting the pain, fighting the mix-up, fighting all of those, and gathering yourself and saying, oh, what I'm going through, this is what's going to lift me up. Never happened that the woman gave birth while she's in labor, in between the contractions. When there's a contraction, it's terrible pain. I never experienced that, but you know that. And that's a time to push and not to complain. Oh God, why are you doing it to me? No, you push. And in between the contractions, you rest. We're getting ready for the next push. And then one of these pushes, you push the baby out. We are going through contractions of giving birth to our new self. If you don't give birth to your new self once in a while, every few days, every few weeks, once a year, whatever, so you're asking yourself, what I'm here for? Oh, you have to enjoy. Yeah, you are here to enjoy, but without removing the body consciousness, he can't enjoy. Because the world to come, in Hebrew, you don't say the world to come, you say the olam haba, the world that is coming, present, continuous. It's coming at you all the time. Are you willing to pay what it takes to get it? That's what they mean, Hakone Olamo. You buy, you acquire your world by what? Hard work. Not a hard work. There are a lot of people that work hard. You know, you see people going to the gym, they're working really hard, they sweat. But you know what? You can make mistakes even then. You can lift weights, and if you lift them in the wrong way, you can have a terrible damage to your muscles and especially to your bones. If you don't know how to do that. Not every time you put effort, you get an award for that. You have to know how to do it. And the effort is not just about just going through stuff. So here comes the word. It says, we have to go through hardship. Okay? Hatzadik hu shu yaret ribono, the righteous person, who has the awe of his master, his creator. Kama ra'ot hu sovel ba'olam hazeh. How many troubles does he have to, and the word is sovel.
Suffers.
Now, wrongly, if you're Israeli, you translate sovel as suffer. Sovel is not suffer. Sovel is not suffer. Sovel comes from the word samech bet lamed sabal. What's a sabal? A porter. Somebody who bears and can tolerate the weight. And that's why the word savlanut coming from. Savlanut means patience. That you can bear this ease and the discomfort, and you're not losing it just because it's not comfortable. Okay? Also the word sovlanut, tolerant. So the tzaddik does not suffer. He bears, he endures, he tolerates the hardship, and he grows. And that's why you say the tzaddik, the righteous person, will fall 7 times and get up, because he tolerates, endures, and he bears the hardship. While the selfish person, the one who chooses not to deal with the pain, he falls and becomes a victim. The pain right now controls him. He becomes an agent of pain. How do you know? He inflicts the pain to everyone. Why only me? Why only me? You should be painful also. Okay, I have a bad day. You should have a bad day too. This is when you make it worse for whom? For yourself. Because this is the choice. There are people that go through terrible stuff. Everybody who goes through terrible stuff becomes a negative victim? No. The history of mankind is full with those kind of people that realize in the moment of pain that they need to choose. They have to make a choice. Like it says in Deuteronomy, that God is saying, I'm giving you today et ha'chaim v'et ha'tov, life and good, and death, mavet v'hara, and evil. And I tell you to choose life, because God cannot choose it for you. The same way, if you're a parent, you cannot choose it for your children. If you're a child, you cannot choose it for your parents. If you're a friend, you cannot choose it for your best friend. A person has to stand within himself to make the choice. Do I bear? Do I tolerate the pain and let the pain deliver the new me? Saying with trust, I know that I'm here in this world for one purpose. It's to enjoy God's light. But there are no free lights. There's no free lunches. There's nothing for free. And if this is the price, I'm willing to pay the price. And not just I'm willing to pay the price, I'm making the choice of life. Yeah, the pain can break you down. The pain can destroy you. The pain can make you bitter as hell. And then your life becomes bitter forever. That's why I say there are 2 kinds of people. One kind of people, I call them the lettuce kind. lettuce, you know, you have in a Caesar salad, lettuce. Lettuce, right? Lettuce is crispy, green, fresh and sweet when it's beginning. But if you let it stand too long, it becomes stale, becoming bitter, and it looks like a rag. You see on people, they are the lettuce kind of people. The more time passes by, they become bitter. They lose this crisp and sweetness, and they become bitter. And you see your body posture. They're like, what can I do? Life is tough, and they're terrible people. I hate those people, and I hate those people. I hate those anti-Semites. I have these robbers and thieves and cheaters and liars, and you're busy all your life with hating all the bad people. It doesn't make you a better person. It makes you bitter, and you just have no purpose in life anymore. You're just miserable. Okay? That's the lettuce people. But they're the wine people. The longer the time passes by, the bouquet becomes richer. The colors become so deep and clear. And they become so precious, like wine. As the year passes by, when it's 10 years old wine, oh, this is so precious. 20 years old wine. And the high quality, like 50 years, 100 years. Wow, this is so precious. Why? But that's a choice you have to make. Who do you want to be? And that's why the story is not about, we're not gossiping about Jacob, but it's teaching us, you want to reach your goal, your dreams. You need to understand you have to pay the price, and paying the price is to choose. Why to choose? Because what's the evil inclination? Is that part of us that wants it easy, that wants to rest, want to do little and to get a lot? And that part, if you side with it, you'll become a lettuce. You'll become bitter, stale, you look like a rag, and you hate the whole world and you think you're right. That's not our calling. That's for free. Troubles are for free. However, you want to become the wine type, you need to choose. Sometimes few times an hour. You know, I could be really upset. I choose not to. I choose to say it's all for the good. And I go through the pain and I tolerate. I carry the pain. And by carrying the pain, I carry myself to a higher place. And this is what we learn, that Jacob, to become Jacob, has to go through those places. So the fact somebody has so many challenges, we say it's opportunities. That's what makes you great. And now, but it starts with Ele Toldot Yaakov, Yosef. These are the offsprings, or the generations, or the outcome of Yaakov, Yosef. And Yosef, yes, we meet him in the story. He's 17 years old, and everything was nice and comfortable for him. Yes, he lost his mother a few years earlier. That doesn't entitle you to be nasty to your brothers, and to go around aloof and like, I know better. He was a genius. His father loved him because he was very talented. Yes, that doesn't justify the fact that you make your brothers hate you. You're blind and you don't even see that. And then they throw him into the pit. And we know that the moment he fell into the pit, he had to make a choice. And he did make a choice. He could be angry, upset, like it doesn't come to me, I don't deserve it, I'm entitled to a better treatment and a better life. Correct? It doesn't. How do we know? Because it says that the pit had no water, but it had scorpions and snakes. And he survived it. He had his first miracle. He sat there in the pit and he chose not to be a victim. He chose to become the person that his father wanted him to become. He chose to become the person that the light intended for him to become. That was his choice. And he made it right. Okay? Now, understanding that, we have to understand that this is our life. How do we know that he was successful? The Torah continues. Came that convoy of Ishmaelites, and they were carrying spices, very precious perfumes. And Rashi says, Ishmaelites, they deal with crude oil. Stinks. Rashi lived in France, 11th century. Okay, they deal with neft. It stinks. But he had, at least that he had a nice ride to Egypt, smelling good. We learn from that, he already started to change the smell. Yeah, it's painful, but at least it smells good. He comes to Egypt and we learn again. He is being sold as a slave. The spoiled boy, the so talented, beloved by his father. And now he's a slave in Egypt, in such a foreign country that hated, whoever is not like them, okay? Discriminating whoever is not Egyptian as subhumans. And over there, in such a challenging environment, how do we know that his master loves him? If he was sitting there as a victim, his master wouldn't love him. His master got more than he bargained for. This guy is working hard. Why? And the Zohar says, you learn from Joseph's behavior. What's the secret of success? A, you must have a dream. You must have a vision. Today they teach it every school, every business school. They teach you in business school, your dream is to make a lot of money. That's not a dream. This is a nightmare. How many people have a lot of money and they have a terrible life? Because money is a mean, it's not a goal. They don't teach that. Having a great life, enjoyable life, having a home, not a house, having a family, not a spouse, having warmth and a community and not people that do whatever you say, or a business. That's a goal. Joseph had a vision. So the first thing, you must have a vision, says the Zohar. The second thing, you should never forget your vision. And the third thing, you should always behave as a person with that vision. So when Joseph is in the pit as a king, bear it, tisbol, tolerate it, endure it, carry it. It's the best thing that happens right now, and be thankful for that. Same thing as a slave with Potiphar. That's the only way we can explain that whatever he was doing, God was making it work. Because is success going together with logic? Big success is doing something that nobody else thought about it before, right? Which means that doing the logical, the right thing, but not the logical. Where's the right thing coming out from? Out of the box, from the Creator. Joseph, he was that person as a slave in Potiphar's homes, in a way that Potiphar saw this guy can bring everything, every moment he can bring it from out of the box, because he's there for the job. He is the king. That was Joseph. So, in being a slave in Egypt, he becomes the best, a slave in the best position ever. But then he starts to feel settled down. What can be worse? You know, he's going around like a master, with the nicest clothes like a master. He's running his master's business like he is a master. And he feels comfortable. Is that your dream? You're still a slave. But you know what? But it feels like I'm making a lot of money. It's not my money, but I'm making a lot of money. Is that your dream? You're settling for less? Settling for less? Comes the story with the seduction of the wife of Potiphar. He finds it, he does the right thing. And his reward is jail. Is he breaking down now? No. I understand I made a mistake. He's become the king of the jail. That's how he meet the two VIPs. And finally, the next parasha, we'll see, he's learning to become the person that has that vision. When he stands next parasha in Miketz, in front of Pharaoh, he is ready. If he didn't go through Potiphar's running his household, he would know the Egyptian economy, how it's working. Okay, all of these steps, if he didn't go through jail, he would not learn how to trust the light of God 100%, 0.0000, like completely, without that no one will do it for you. It's only when you come to the place it will come. And that will be only when, and that comes the story. So what is the purpose of everything? There's a verse that says in the Mishnah, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות. God wanted to, usually it's translated as to give Israel the merit. That's why he gave them the Torah and the mitzvot. But the word zacha comes from the word zach, pure. How do you say glass in Hebrew? Zechuchit. It's pure. Why is it pure? So the light goes through. That's pure. So, the Creator gave us the Torah and the mitzvot not because of us collecting merits. You know, religious people, they think you do a lot of precepts, you do God's word, and then when you die in the world to come, you will, you come to a big cafeteria, and those mitzvot will become the coupons so you can buy everything you want in that heaven cafeteria, right? No. Heaven is here, and the world to come is the world that is coming. As we said, present continuous. You want to connect to that heavenly world, you need to purify your body consciousness. How do you purify your body consciousness? The way you train yourself to deal with everything that you go through, and in a way that you bear, tolerate, endure, and use the pain, the discomfort in order to lift yourself to have a stronger connection to the light of the Creator. And this is why there's the Torah. The study of the Torah is not because we want to be smart. The study of the Torah is lezakot, to purify. We study Torah, concentrate, to work on it. By doing that, we transform. We do the mitzvot, sharing, caring, giving, whatever, every mitzvah, Shabbat, holidays, all of that is one purpose only, to transform the body consciousness till we can turn it around to work for us, as we learned in previous parasha. So we take this Esav and we turn it to be our loyal servant. So we use the passion to have passion towards doing good. We use the lust in order to have a lust for light and spirituality. We use all of these desires in order to get us better people. So when we go through stuff in life, and it's painful, it's hard, that's like lifting weights. If you're lifting them in the wrong way, it breaks you down. Which means when you go through the hardship and you say like, oh, why does it happen to me? Why not to him? He's such a nasty guy. He should get all of this trouble, not me. That's carrying the burden in the unprofessional way. It breaks you down. It tears your muscles, breaks your bones. You become worse than you've been. But if you bear it properly, you do your sabal, you bear it properly. What do I mean bear it properly? You carry it is, I'm proud going through it, because by going through it and still sticking to the light and you give birth to the new you. You purify some more, and you purify some more. So either you sit and wait passively. Oh God, I want my life to be better. Oh, challenges will come. Oh, I didn't mean to go through such troubles. Why are you sending me so many troubles, God? You said you wanted better. The only way to be better is to bear the lifts. You know, did you hear about anyone who pays membership for the gym and he sits with a membership, card, and he looks at it and he's wondering, how come I'm not getting more muscles, and how come I'm getting fat? I paid the membership fees. Doesn't work this way. Doesn't work this way. You have to go and sweat. Same thing. Do you want to be a member in this really special club that is called the Wine People? You have to be. So instead of sitting there and waiting for it to come, go and make it happen. You can work in the most, a job in the government or a job in a bank or everywhere. But when you serve, that's a basic of Hasidic teachings. When you serve a person from a place of love others as you love yourself, and you just do the extra mile for others. Why? Because that's a way to connect to God. You're tiring your evil inclination that says to you, why do you have to bother? You're going to get the same wages anyway if you serve him or not. No. That's a mitzvah. I'm doing it to serve others because that's the way. And the more tired your body becomes, good for you. You come by the end of the day, I'm broken into pieces. You say it in Hebrew, ayefim ach merutzim. We are tired, but we are so happy. We're so satiated. Why? You want to be satiated, you have to tire your body. Serving people, serving God, studying, helping, everything. There's nothing that is not a mitzvah. When you live your life like this, you break yourself into pieces. But that's a big gym that is called life. Every day you're in better shape. Every day your body is more purified because you use your body. Oh, you have legs? Go to do something for other people with these legs. You have hands. Do something for others with these hands. You have eyes. Serve somebody with that. When you do it as your religion, your body will start transform. Will become your slave instead of being your master. How do you know? You find yourself having those stupid moments that you're happy and you have no idea why. I just had a hard day. I worked so hard. And at the end of the day, you feel like, wow, I feel so happy. I'm so content. You know why? Because you're tired your body so much, he can't pick on you anymore. He's like, I'm done with you. Whatever you want, you just have it. And then the light comes through because you become pure. This is so important. No one can be happy without blood, sweat, and tears. As a mission, you want to be a king, yes. You want to be the king of your body, the king of your house, the king of your life. But the only way to do it is you have to overcome those complaints of the body. Go for it. This is the secret. Thank you.